Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today, we're going to be learning about a group of molecules called prostaglandins and their role in the human body. All right, let's get to it. All right, everyone, let's dive into our lesson about prostaglandins and their role in the human body. First, let's go over our goals for today's lesson. We're going to learn about what is a prostaglandin. We're going to go over the naming origin for these molecules. And then lastly, we'll discuss their function within the human body. All right, let's get started. So first, what is a prostaglandin? So prostaglandins are a lipid signaling molecule. And this is an example of what one might look like over here on the right. So by lipid, we mean that it's a special kind of fat molecule, and it's going to signal different parts of the body to produce a specific effect. Prostaglandins are classified as an eicosanoid, and this is organic chemistry nomenclature that essentially tells us that this molecule has 20 carbons total within its length. And lastly, prostaglandins are produced locally. And this is in contrast to a systemic hormone like insulin that's produced in the pancreas and gets sent all over the body. So prostaglandins are produced separately at each different site within the body where it exerts its effects. Now, the origin for how these molecules got their name is quite interesting, so I want to talk about that for a moment. So in the 1930s, some researchers discovered that seminal fluid contracted uterine smooth muscle. Then in 1935, a Swedish physiologist named Ulf von Euler isolated this molecule within the seminal fluid causing these contractions, and he termed them prostaglandins. And he called these molecules prostaglandins because it was thought at the time that this seminal fluid was produced by the prostate gland. And that's how we can see within the name prostaglandin, prostaglandin, from the prostate gland. However, it was later discovered that prostaglandins are actually produced by the seminal vesicles, not the prostate gland. But nevertheless, the name remains prostaglandin. All right, let's get into the crux of the lesson where we're going to learn about the function of these prostaglandins in the body. So the first function to know about is pain sensitization. So prostaglandins will act in the nerve endings and especially within the central nervous system to promote the pain sensation and pain response. Next, prostaglandins play an important role in the immune system, specifically by inducing fever, by acting in the hypothalamus within the brain, and also by regulating immune cells. Prostaglandins act in the respiratory tract, and there they regulate airway smooth muscle, so promoting either constriction or dilation of the airway. Next is the GI tract, and this is very important to know about with prostaglandins. So they help to regulate the GI tract, promoting contractions, and prostaglandins also decrease the stomach acid production. So when there's too much acid, you'll get signaling with prostaglandins to decrease the acid. So within the kidneys, prostaglandins act within the vessels in the glomerulus to signal vasodilation, so making the vessels bigger. And that is important for maintaining GFR, or glomerular filtration rate. In the reproductive system, prostaglandins signal the uterus to contract. And then lastly, within the vasculature, so the blood vessels, they signal vasodilation, and this plays an important role in inflammation because as the vessels dilate, it'll promote the swelling and redness that we see in the inflammatory response. And then lastly, they play an important role in inhibiting platelet aggregation, so preventing the blood from clotting. Okay, let's summarize what we learned today. So first, we learned that prostaglandins are lipid signaling molecules, produced and exerting their effects locally. We learned that they were named after the prostate gland. And last, we learned that they play a role in a variety of functions throughout the body. And some specific ones to remember are their role in pain and inflammation, the way they regulate function in the GI and respiratory tract, and how they maintain the GFR within the kidney. All right, that's all I have for you today. Hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, give it a like, thumbs up, and I will see you all in the next one.